Hello, it's Pupmeister, and today we are going to look at how to make suspicious stew. Yes, how do you make suspicious stew? Well, it's all created through mushroom stew. So you create mushroom stew, and then you add a certain flour. For each of the flours, there is a different effect that is given. So let's just take a look here. If you put in any tulip with your mushroom stew, it gives you a suspicious stew of weakness. And that's a tulip. A poppy will give you night vision. An oxydaisy, regeneration. Now, unfortunately for all of these, they only last a few seconds. I think the longest one lasts 12 seconds, but most of them just last 3 seconds, 6 seconds. So it's really not that big of a deal. Lily of the Valley gives you poison. Cornflower will give you a jump boost. It's only jump 1, so it'll get you over a fence, but that's about it. Here's your cornflower. Now, dandelions or blue orchids will give you saturation. And unless you're near a swamp for the blue orchid, which is actually one of my favorite flowers in Minecraft, but unless you're near a swamp, you'll probably be using the dandelion, because dandelions, as you can just tell, are everywhere. And saturation is one of the best suspicious stews you can get. And as you can see, my food bar is getting really low, and I'm doing that on purpose so I can show you how good the saturation stew is, for short. All right, then we have the allium, and that is fire resistance. And of course, we also have the wither rose, which gives you the wither effect. And because I do everything in survival, I have not taken on the wither as of yet. So I lit a black candle to save its spot. All right, so let's go all the way over here. And we're going to make a suspicious stew with a dandelion. Just like that. And that gives you suspicious stew. Now, unfortunately, even though they all give you a different effect, it's always going to be labeled as suspicious stew. So keep that in mind. And suspicious stew, I'm going to just run a little bit more, just so we get into the last 3 food bars there. There we go. There, now I can't even move that well. Okay, now that we're back, I've got 7 bars that are missing, and I'm going to have the suspicious stew of saturation. This guy. So here we go. Look at that. Pretty much filled it up. 6.5, 6.5 it looks like. And then on the other side, it's giving you really good saturation as well. So if you especially only have 1 or 2 food bars missing, and you have the saturation stew, and I'm going to call it a saturation stew, just so I don't have to constantly say the saturation suspicious stew. Man, that's a tongue twister. All right. So saturation, if you're not aware, is kind of like a secondary food bar that you don't see. And that is why sometimes, especially when you eat steak, for example, steak fills you up quite well, but also gives you a good saturation limit. So that's why sometimes when you eat something and you're moving around and stuff, your food bars don't go down, because it's eating away at the saturation food bar, if you want to think of it that way, that you can't see. There are some mods that do show you the saturation, but as you know, I do vanilla survival only, so I will at least let you know about them. All the rest, same things. Here we'll do weakness. We'll do a weakness. Put in the bowl, the mushrooms, and we need a tulip. And again, all it says is it is a tongue twister. All it is suspicious stew. But when you eat it, oh, now I have weakness, as you can see in the top right there. But they all just last a few seconds. The other one that's half decent, I mean, I don't know why you would want fire resistance only for a few seconds. Jump boost, perhaps. Let's put a bed down. All right, so let's do the jump boost, which is our corn flour right here. Okay, so in goes the bowl, and one of each mushroom, and we want the corn flour. Okay, so you can tell how far up I'm jumping at the moment. So let's eat this. Okay, so you are jumping higher, but not a lot higher. Like I said, it'll get you over a fence, but not much else. Regeneration. Again, it only lasts for a few seconds, so it might give you a heart and a half by eating that. And night vision, again, it's all just for a few seconds. So the only suspicious stew that really matters, in my opinion, is saturation. So let's come on over here and we'll make 3. There we go. And 1, 2, 3. So these are all suspicious stews that are saturation. Now, as you can tell, stews, just like all the rest, they do not stack. So, although it is the best food, really, in the entire game as far as saturation and giving you back your food bars, they don't stack. So, you're either going to want, say, a shulker box full of these, and then you can pretend this one spot is all your suspicious stews that have the saturation. But again, you're going to have to, put down your box, open it up, and take out your saturation. So it's a bit of a pain that way, but it's the only thing I could suggest. Or the pouch when it comes out, ender chest, anything that gives you the extra storage, you could use those. So that is how you make suspicious stew. But there's one more way. The other way is to have a brown mushroom. Now, because I'm in survival, the stuff I do for you guys, this took me quite a while to get. First, you have to get a trident with channeling on it. Then you have to wait around forever until a thunderstorm comes and use the trident on a normal mushroom. And when the lightning hits it, it becomes a brown mushroom. And as you know, if you milk, so to speak, a mushroom with a bowl, you get mushroom stew. But when you have a brown mushroom, you can feed it whatever flour you want. So we're going to do a suspicious stew of saturation. So I'm feeding it a dandelion. Did you see the little effect there that it ate? Now, if we milk it, you will get a suspicious stew of the saturation variety. Now, you have to feed it a flour before you milk it every time, or it will just give you mushroom stew, just like a normal mushroom. Oh, and there's another one. So if I wanted a whole bunch of saturation stews, I would have to feed it a dandelion, then milk it with a bowl, feed it a dandelion, milk it with a bowl, etc. But that way, you get unlimited saturation stew. All you need are dandelions and a bowl. Okay, so we're going to go over to the corner chest, and of course our first corner chest is full with the first 54 episodes. So we are in the next one, and let's put our suspicious stew in there, and this is episode number 57. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great day, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.